done some other knives today, but some of them had to have some special things done. So did these. Revelation 800 grit finish. This one's going to be pretty. It's got black micarta, vintage micarta liners. Got a Mustang Nitro V. Standard finish. Blue micarta copper pins. This one is pretty special. It's a tribute Nitro V. What's up, Gabe? How's it going, bud? This is a tribute Nitro V. This one actually has some African cherry wood on it. This one I won't be completing today, but I'll get it 90%. So I'm going to actually do a coating over it when it's finished. At least finished as far as I'm going to finish it here. But anyway, this one's got African cherry wood over forest green G10 liners. Then we've got another little kind of special one. This is a walkabout, but it's a 5-inch walkabout instead of a 6-inch walkabout. And it's not getting Cerakoted. He just wanted the removable screws. It's just blue micarta. We're going to finish all these up. I've got some others on the bench that we'll take a look at that I finished up today. There's just 4 here for now. So. What's up, Zach? All right, now let's go to the other grinder. Uh-oh. There we go. Hey Ken, do me a favor. If you want to check out some knives, go to my website, verygoodknifeco.com. You can subscribe to my newsletter. I do my best to send out newsletters. It's been behind here lately, but you can send me an email, verygoodknifeco@gmail.com, and you'll be talking with my office queen, Rebecca, and she'll get you hooked up. All right. Shoot me an email, verygoodknifeco@gmail.com. We'll get you hooked up. All right, let's go finish them. All right. 400 grit. This knife is supposed to get an 800 grit finish all the way around. The blade is there. Let's do the rest. There's 600. There's 800. Beauty. Now, Scotch Brite. I got a mess of belts that I got to get cleaned up. All right, what's up, everybody? I'm Jacob with Very Good Knife Company. For those of you who are new here, welcome in. Happy to have you. So, this one has this African cherry wood. It had a tiny little tear out right there where the wood kind of chipped, and then looks like a little bit right there. So I did have a plan to do some hand work on this one. That's why I didn't fully finish it out. It's all the way up to 400 grit, so it's there. It just needs a little bit of hand work, and in order to get that wood just right. And we've got this walkabout. It's a 400 grit finish. This knife is complete. It won't get Cerakoted even though it has the removable screws. I will change the screws out with brand new ones. And what's up, John? What's up, Zach? Steven? Paulo Sergio? John Ratulangi? Spencer York? Ground Fog? What's up, everybody? How's it going? So, I have not... I did show my print of it on the Knife Junkies podcast, Gabe, but I have not done one yet. I still haven't done one yet. So this one right here is actually an 800 grit finish. That last step that I did with it was actually putting polishing or buffing compound on the Scotch-Brite belt. And that makes it ultra uber shiny. But it's 800 grit all the way around the whole knife, and it's very, very shiny. It will be extra shiny when I get done with it and I hit it with some flits also. That's what I'm going to do at the very end before I send this knife out. And then here's a Mustang Nitro V blue micarta with the copper Corby screws. Pretty good. Every one of them? Really? Yeah? I think you're right. Tradition Junior. I think they are all purple. You would know. All right, so from here, I am going to run over and grab the tray. Let's grab the tray because we're going to sharpen everything that I've got sitting on the bench over here. I finished 3 other knives today. It would have been 4, but I kind of timed out. So I'm almost caught up on orders. I will have almost every single order checked off of the book today, except for one last bigger order for you, John Wayne. I'm sorry it keeps getting delayed, but here's the thing. Now come Monday, all I have to work on is your 5 blades. Everybody else's is out of my way. I do have another order after that, but it is coming after that. It's a new order. I'm not saying for who because it's a gift. You know what? I shouldn't even show the knives. They're bigger knives. There you go. But this is a big time VGKC supporter, and those are gifts for him. And then other than that, I have Daniel's knife, that modded lengthened blade adventure in 5/32. That one is getting fat carbon snakeskin copper with the turquoise G10. It's not the Tiffany blue, it's turquoise. It's definitely different. Turquoise G10 liners. That one just I didn't make it around to that one today. I did do 2 other knives with liners. In fact, here's the other side of that. It was in the clamps still. So this one may get done tomorrow, but most likely on Monday. But other than those, the only orders, I have one unconfirmed that was in talks. Somebody wanted a Gen 3 Nitro V Adventure, so I already got a blade heat treated. If they don't want it, or end up not confirming in on that, then I will just have another adventure to add to the whole big stack of extras that I have over there. I have almost 20 knives now. So Zach, I got something for you. This is your knife too. This is Zach's design. This is the Lone Star. It's Nitro V. This handle is the same as the Revelation. It does have a slight beef up in the midsection right here, but it's the same handle as the Revelation. But this blade is like a reverse Tanto. It's got a little rise right here, and it looks good. It's right over the top of that choil, so with a nice forward curved handle like I do with the Revelation. The Revelation has a curved and angled forward face of the handle. Everything else, everything just goes square. and the revelation is curved. That's the only one that I do it on, because I think with the curvature and the body of the knife, it needs something like that. Plus it has that long sweeping grind. Anyway, this one has that handle of the revelation, and it is going to get a hollow grind. So, and it's also going to have a swedge here. This is going to be a great, honestly, this is going to be a great utility knife. And that's kind of what it's geared towards, is a utilitarian knife. I think it's going to be really good looking. I'm not sure how many I'm going to do in the colors, the exact color that you were wanting, Zach, but I will do at least half of the run in that color, which is going to be burgundy micarta over orange liners, and I believe even copper screws. Now, I probably won't do the copper screws for the entirety of the run. That one might just be Zach's. This one will definitely have that. And I have his original drawing over here. I brought it into the shop this week. My shop is a mess. It's time for a cleaning. Where did it go? Oh yeah, I took it home. Never mind. Oh boy. I don't know what I was thinking. I put it back in the order book and took it home, and I know where it is. It's in between two records on my nightstand. Two vinyl records. A Red Clay Strays vinyl record. Anyway, this one is coming soon. I did have a piece of steel sitting on my rack in there, and I'm going to change that. I don't like my steel not being next to my steel cutting bench. So when I put this, it does have some character infused by me. It has a lot of character, that's for sure. It's a really, really, really cool knife. But anyway, I thought that I had two more pieces of the 5/32 Nitro V 1.25 wide steel. I was wrong. I cut my last piece of it up, and I only left myself enough to do that Lone Star, one Lone Star, and the next. Well, I always leave myself one little small piece of any of the steels in case somebody just happens to order something, and I don't have the steel. I at least can fill that one order. But that doesn't always work out. I usually try and keep it in stock. Problem is, right now, New Jersey Steel Baron is out of AEBL and Nitro V both. So I ordered what they had of this size, and I ordered 7 bars of it. So that's enough to do a whole bunch. So we'll be at least able to do that run. The thing is, I was kind of banking. Oh, I already sharpened this one. I don't need to wipe the oil off of that one. Oh, goodness. It's gotten late. Even with the air conditioning going, it's still kind of warm in here, but it has stayed so cool in here today. Just late in the afternoon now, I'm starting to feel a little bit of that 100 degrees outside. It's still like 78 degrees in here. It's below 80 degrees in here, so I have no complaints. Clean some junk off of these. So I have a Wasp Nitro V with green micarta and a lanyard hole. That one I finished up today. And then I have another Wasp in Nitro V. It has got the blue micarta, and this one has got a bead blasted finish. This one looks pretty cool. Got oil on it. Pretty nice knife. This one belongs to a feller who is local. He is local, and he's going to come and pick this knife up. I'm going to finish the knife today, but then I still got to do the sheath, so I'll probably see him next week sometime. Waleska Knives, his name is. Maybe he's in here watching. This is where he found me, was live stream. And here's one that I'm gonna sharpen this one first and put it right back in oil, because it is the first VGKC in ADCRV2 that's been bead blasted. That's what he wanted. He knows. So as long as you keep this thing waxed and oiled and let it develop its own patina, it'll be fine. But if you don't baby it for a while, it'll rust. Because, and this is why I finish my knives to 400 grit, is because, or at least 220 grit and Scotch Brite, is it makes sure that the surface won't cling any kind of moisture. But bead blast will, and this is a carbon steel, so I'm gonna sharpen this one first, and then I'm gonna go wax it real quick, and I'll probably just stick it back on the bench over here, and then spray it with oil. I'll wait to wax it until I get done with etching it. Now, no, I'm making knives, and I'm just finishing up this week's haul. These are all special orders, or side orders. I just call them orders because people hit me up with an email and say, I can't live without this knife, so make me one, please. So this tribute, I'm going to do a little bit of handwork on to get this African cherry wood just right. This one's got the dark green, forest green G10 liners and African cherry wood. It's pretty nice looking. It just needs a little bit of handwork in order to get that wood exactly where I want it. This is why I don't work with wood. I always do micarta, because wood is wood. It is what it is. I don't hate it. I just don't like working with it. I like the finished product. I don't like it in between. I'm good at it. Doesn't matter. I don't like doing it. All right. I'm going to grab a new 400 grit belt. And actually, I'm going to do a 220 first, because I got this walkabout. The bigger knives, I like a little thicker edge in order to handle some abuse. But I like to leave them with a 220 edge. It's a little toothier. It's also not taking off quite as much if I was to go 220 then 400, because the edge is about 35 thousandths on this dude, and so it can withstand a lot of abuse, and it's still going to be nice and slicey. Good Lord. But we're going to just stick with the 220 grit edge. I do 220 grit edge on all of my bigger knives. We'll go ahead and get rolling. Losing my mind here. It's getting late. I'm getting tired. I got to get my sharpening rig out. Oh, goodness gracious. Heat's gotten to me. The week has gotten to me. Come here. So I got 6 knives to sharpen up here. This will go pretty quick. I am going to do this Revelation up to an 800 edge. I don't have to step it from 8 to 6 or 4 to 6 to 8. You can just run right on up to 800 and 400. It'll be okay, but that one's going to be very ridiculously sharp. Here we go. Grinder at the slowest speed. I got it, it's on there. I just take it off so you can hear me. Otherwise, it just sounds like I'm talking into a towel. Alright. Start with the walkabout. One side. Yeah, I know it, Zach. It's always something. I try my darndest. Alright, that's all for that one. Minus the etching, this is a complete knife. We have to strop them still. I'll do that at the end though. There's our beautiful edge. Good looking. We don't need that 220 anymore. We're going to go to a 400. And that is what all of my edges that aren't on the big knives, that's what all of them run. 400 grit. Start with this Revelation. Be careful with it because it's got a high polish finish, or at least a high grit belt finish, belt satin. All right. Since I already have this one clamped up, it's easier for me to just swap the belt now than it is to try and get the clamp in the exact same spot. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to swap the belt while I've got that one clamped. We'll go ahead and take it to this 800 grit. Now, after this, I won't need to strop it as much. I'll just hit it just a couple of times. That's it. Forward to go, and no more fancy tricks on the next ones. What a beauty blade. Mustang is next. Mustang. I was supposed to do this one first. Like I forgot to demagnetize this one. Problem solved. I think it'll be okay to sit here for just a second. Shouldn't go rusting. I'll have 2 more to do. They're very small. Figured out which ones I forgot to demagnetize. These 3 that I finished earlier. Oops. Well, let's go do it. Let's do it a second. I'm back. One more. There we go. That's all for the grinder. Let's go over to the buffer and do some stropping. Kind of forgot about my little mess over here. We'll be all right. Rake it. Fill her up. See the paper towel? Well, we'll quit blowing around. That's pretty sharp. Drop it one more time. That's pretty slicey, huh? Pretty sharp. Yeehaw. Sharp as that one needs to be. Ever. Here's that 800 grit edge. Looks like it's got a hitch. Once more. I got into the toil. There it is. Nice and sharp. Extra sharp. Now somebody's probably wondering, will it shave hair? My hair is fine, so you probably can't see it, but it'll shave as much hair as you want. Sharp. Sharp. Oh, now it's done gone sideways on me. I can hit it one more time. Cool. Now let's see. There it is. Where we want to be. Ridiculous sharp. Ridiculous sharp. Okay. So now, these knives are all finished. minus whatever little micro fine cleanup that I have to do. They are done. Oh my goodness. My cart was unhooked this cord. Stay there. I don't need you. Alright. I've got to get these oiled, specifically this one that is 80 Sharpie 2 and blasted. Soak her down, and then I'm going to soak the rest of these down. That needs to go in the trash. I've reached for it twice now. It's empty. This dude, I will have to, when I get home, I'll hit it with the Flitz or the Neverdoll and make sure that it is exactly where I need it. Now, I don't remember if, John, if you said silver or black screws. But I'm going to put silver in it because I think that's what's going to be the better look. Could have done that before I sharpened it. Might have been a little safer, huh? Look at there. Dropping my screwdriver. Come out. All right, I'm gonna clean out from underneath these handles real good and just make sure that everything is gunk free. Wipe this blade down and clean it. This WD-40, that's all we're doing. Make sure that there's no dust down on the inside of the handles. And then I'll grab 3 new screws here. Put new screws in it. Now I have a whole bunch of screws specifically for fitting handles because sometimes they incur a little damage. It might encounter a belt. Go back. All right. Just clean, sharp. It's got brand new screws. No, you get in there. There you go, John D. There's your 5-inch walkabout. Now I got to make the leather saddle loop. That's going to take me a few days because I'm out of dye and waiting on some to get here. Leather dye. That's the wrong screw head. I'm losing my vision. Time to go get my eyes checked. I swore I looked at that screw. There's the new one. All right. We have drug it out, haven't we? Tightening the posts first. Make sure they're seated. About 25 inch pounds is all they'll ever need, and they'll never go anywhere. Beautiful fit, beautiful finish. That is a 5-inch walkabout with removable handle screws. That one's done. What's next? Let's have a look. Make sure when I dropped that screwdriver I didn't hurt anything. Didn't touch this one, I don't think. I think it was just that green one right there that I... Go. This dude's all clean. Like I said, when I get done etching and sheathing these, I will take this one home and polish the whole thing up with some flits. Got some oil all over it. This one is an 800 grit finish. It's hard to get it perfectly consistent too, but it's very, very shiny. You're welcome, buddy. I'm glad I got to make some good knives for you. I appreciate you too, man. All right. This one I'm gonna go and etch and wax. Along with all the other ones. I'm wiping it off. It's got some oil all over it. That's why the coloration looks a little different on the blade. It's just a blast finish. It's very uniform. It's just got some oil on it. It's got to stay oily because this blade is carbon steel. I usually never blast carbon steel, but this was requested. So this one's got the double green micarta. I actually had to cut those down because I don't have any 3/16. So I had to cut the big stuff down. But that's what he wanted, double green, and I've got a sheet of it. So here is a wasp in Nitro V with the green micarta lanyard hole. This one's actually going to get some special engraving on it. It's a little bit of personalization, which I can do. And then once again, this one belongs to a local fella, Waleska Knives. He's going to come and pick this one up probably next week sometime, I would guess. Wasp Nitro V with the denim blue, bead blasted. Pretty sweet. And then, last but not least, we've got that Mustang. Now, this one is a gift as well for somebody. So if you ever go back and watch this, here it is. Mustang Nitro V. This one has copper Corby screws and that denim blue micarta. Pretty dang good looking knife. I like it a lot. So, the only one that the only two that I didn't get to finish today. I didn't get to finish Daniel's, but I do have the scales and liners are all glued up. Everything's ready to go. And I'll get to this one next. That's the next one on the bench because all it needs to be is assembled and finished. Before that one though, I will finish this one. I have to do a whole bunch of handwork and tedious back and forth with some glue and getting a nice, really uniform and kind of a pit-free finish. It's a stabilized wood, but it's kind of pitty, and it's got some stringy grain, kind of like oak, which can be a pain in the neck to get exactly the way you want it. This is African cherry, pretty good looking. Heck yeah, a Western wanted poster. I agree. So this one is going to get a little bit of hand finishing, and then I'll be done with it as well. And then it'll get sharpened and caught up with the rest of them. But for now, that's all I got for you. It is 10 after 6, and I'm ready to hit the house. So I appreciate all you guys' support. Thank you for watching.